Daniel Holtzclaw, who's just been found guilty of 18 of 36 charges on sex crimes. And they have now agreed to come forward and speak to the press about the justice they feel they have received in the case against this Oklahoma City police officer. So let's listen to Benjamin Crump as he introduces these women.
Raped by a police officer, and nobody's saying a word about it. Nobody's doing anything about it. They're trying to sweep it under the rug. You got to do something. We got to do something. And I told Tez, because I'm an attorney, I'm an officer of the court, and I really believe that equal justice prevails in America, and that every American citizen is given their rights as citizens. So I told her that I'm sure it's going to get covered. It's just a sensational, unbelievable case. I'm sure the national media, I'm sure America is going to come to the aid of these vulnerable women, and I believe that. And so I said, and we were busy doing these other cases in America dealing with other minorities being killed by police officers. So I said, Tez, just keep the faith, it's going to happen. And then a couple of months after that, Mr. Garland Pruitt, the NAACP president, called and said, nobody's doing anything about this case. They're going to let him get off with this. We got to speak out. We got to cry out as a country for these women, these vulnerable women, the least of ye. And again, I was busy in Ferguson dealing with the Michael Brown case, and I told Mr. Pruitt that I'm sure it's going to work out. It's going to happen where people are going to care about these women because they're somebody's mother, somebody's sister, somebody's daughter, somebody's wife, somebody's grandmother. And we all have wives and mothers and sisters. They're going to care. They're going to speak out. And we kept waiting for them to speak out. And then Sade's father called me, Mr. Terrell Muhammad. And he called me with one of those painful calls. And it does remind you, these phone calls remind you of one another. I thought about Trayvon Martin's father and that phone call.
You gotta be kidding me.
He was
How
just
many
frustrated.
fucking...
He was concerned that the person who violated his daughter was going to get away with it. And nobody was going to say a damn word. And I sensed his anguish and his pain. And he said, I understand that you're coming to Oklahoma. Attorney Simmons and Attorney Hall and I are working on the matter in Tulsa with Monroe Bird III, a young man who had been shot and killed and all. And I said, we're coming to Oklahoma and we're busy. But he said, Mr. Crump, the trial has started. I go to that courtroom and I'm so concerned that my baby won't get justice. You just gotta help us. And when he made that plea, I thought about myself as a father. I have a daughter. And he said, man, if they let him get away with it, I don't know what I'll do. And I thought about that. If that was my daughter, it became personal. You know, a lot of times we were not humanizing this situation. And so he humanized it for me more than Tez or Mr. Pruitt could ever humanize it
guys
for
for
me.
money, though.
He was literally crying on that phone saying, I want justice for my child. My child's life matters too. And so it was that day that we were going to the University of Oklahoma to speak at a lecture on Black Lives Matter that we came to the courthouse and we sat in, Attorney Solomon Simmons and I listened to some of the painful testimony of these women talk about the most dehumanizing things you could possibly imagine. And
like
it
what?
just left a hollow pit in your stomach as you listen to them tell similar story after similar story.
Really,
And
didn't read like
these
Penthouse
women
Forum?
didn't know one another. So how would they all be able to tell the same story over and over? And I sat in the courtroom as an officer of the court, really concerned that would justice elude them like it had eluded so many others in our community. And I remember a young lady with Grace's group, Oklahoma City Artists for Justice. These sisters who were young college students who gave a damn and they cared about these other women. They felt connected, that they committed to sacrifice their time to come to court every day and take notes and tweet out about what was happening in the trial, because like Ted said and like Mr. Garland said, no national media, nobody was covering it. And so they took it amongst themselves to try to cover it. And so it became very profound to me when they said, Attorney Crump, look in this courtroom. Nobody
Attorney
cared.
Benjamin Crump has been speaking out in front of the Oklahoma City County Courthouse. He's ostensibly introducing the women who are about to speak about their experiences in that courtroom, and we really want you to be able to hear that. I'm going to squeeze in a quick break, and when we come back, hopefully the women will be coming forward to tell their accounts of what justice was like for them. That's next.